So me and bruh had hit the point of no return. Problem was, we had no idea we were headed for a collision course with all our enemies.
What's up, Heather? Once again, I'm Najir Chambers. I'm from Big O Belt Media. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. And today we're here to talk BMF Season 4, returning to Stars June 6th. How are you doing? How are you feeling? How's the vibes?
Oh, the vibe's great. We're loving seeing the audience response to the trailer. We've been racking up the views. The world finally gets to see what we've poured blood, sweat, and tears into. And thank
Yeah.
you for having me.
Absolutely. Any and every time. So always, every time I talk to you, I always want to know. I like to pull the curtains back a little bit, in a positive light, of course. Every year you all have a theme within the set. And
Yes.
I believe last season was Elevate, Elevate, Elevate. What's the theme for season 4?
So this year was Eye of the Tiger.
Eye of the
So
Tiger.
you don't want anybody to get complacent. You've been doing this for a minute. We know the drill, but the goal was to come back stronger, better, faster. I love the Rocky movies. Eye of the Tiger has always been a theme for me. And it was so much fun because there'd be nights we rap, somebody's blasting Eye of the Tiger. There's somebody from the crew. We're on a set. There's a piano there. Somebody's playing it on the piano. Uh, Somebody had a tiger on the sound cart. Like it just, and then we every Friday we wear a shirt in honor of Randy Huggins, who's
Yeah.
the creator. So every Friday's Huggy Friday, and we wear our Eye of the Tiger shirts in honor of Randy with his picture on them too.
Amazing, amazing. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. Like it's always something that in terms of watching every episode, I always kind of like embody that in terms of the experience with it. And that was very true to last season where it seems like every episode everybody just continued to get better, the story continued to get better. And I can't wait to see how to apply Eye of the Tiger for season 4. Now, I want to ask you another thing that's really important is there's always a story within each of these seasons, but there's also a theme amongst the family. What would you say is the theme amongst the family or the brothers for this season?
This season in the writer's room, it was the enemy within. And so we love that because it impacts all our storylines. So you have the physical threat,
Yeah.
the enemy within, right? There's always somebody trying to beat, can't stop what coming, right?
Yeah.
That's one of our so there's the physical threat and then there's the internal threat, that
Yeah.
self-destructive behavior that manifests itself in really powerful ways, especially between the brothers, driving a lot of conflict. And you'll see the enemy within, begins in Mexico.
Yeah.
Only the brothers know what happened in Mexico. And so that's a
Mhm.
really fun storytelling device, creating this mystery of what happened in Mexico. And then we'll eventually reveal what did. And that's really one of our driving threads this season, too.
Okay. Okay. This season returning, you have Miles as B Mickey and you have Eric as Lamar. Two fan favorites. I just want to know for you. I mean, as the showrunner, I mean, you had two prominent actors, two prominent characters that were assumed to have been gone, or whatever may have happened. But essentially, as the fans, we thought they're gone. We're never going to see them again. Then they return just for you, whether you want to consider yourself a card player, keeping that ace in your sleeve, or just a fan, what was the excitement to know that you had this arsenal ready to return and how you were going to use them?
Well, what was fun too is those two guys, right? We all know those characters were out there floating somewhere still, you know? If they're not dead and buried, they're out there somewhere. And we operate in two, as storytellers, what if? Those are our two magical words. What if Lamar came back? What if B. Mickey came back? And we knew the fans would love that. And Lamar is such an iconic character and so talented. I mean, he can act, he can sing, and I could not wait for the trailer to drop. You know, Because I worked on this show, I worked on season 4 for 56 weeks. I'm here day one when the room starts. We do 5 months in the room, 5 months of production, of filming, and then through post-production.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh, I cannot wait. And so it's been so much fun seeing our fans' reaction, reading the comments. And I can't wait. There's going to be so many memes. There's going to be so many
Yeah.
reactions. Like, this is the stuff we live for. The story.
Yeah. Yeah, listen. Wait, yeah, wait till they see what's up your sleeve with Lamar, man. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, the internet's gonna have a great time with it, and I thank you for bringing them back because typically, when yes, as both fans and even through my critic eyes at times, we say, what happened to those characters? They could be out there doing something. They never typically return in television. They're just gone. And we just like, oh, our theories as to why they're gone, but to have them return is such a treat. Now, another question I want to ask you, and by all means, if this isn't something you can answer, it's okay. I want to know with both now T and Big Meech being home, how has that impacted the collaboration process and also just the culture, considering that what folks don't know, I mean, if they don't know, they're just living under a rock, is because what you all create on set is a family culture. And both the cast member and both with the Flenory family, I've been in that space. I've also felt like I've been adopted into that space at times. So, like, I know the fact that, like, this is truly the F in BMF is family. You all are cohesively moving. But now with the two of them both home, I'm wondering, again, how has that impacted the collaboration process and storytelling?
I've been in contact with T when, from the beginning when I came on the show. He and Randy and Big Meech were always in contact with Randy, and then it got passed on to me. So what's great is having the real life people still around, right? So you can
Yeah,
fact check and then say, you know what? That's a great tidbit, and we're going to take it upside. We're going to turn it on its head and dramatize it in our own way. And that's the fun thing is we get to make up a lot of stuff too.
yeah,
you know
yeah,
so our goal, we knew what the hero's goal was, and so our job is to create obstacles along the journey and make it hard for our heroes to achieve that goal. So everyone's been so supportive, so welcoming, and it's just amazing that they're both home,
yeah,
and there's a second act for both these guys,
yeah,
and so it's just been really an honor to see that, and then also to be carrying on Randy's legacy too.
yeah.
His daughter's in episode 401, Miss Haven Huggins. She plays T and Lawanda's daughter, Alexis.
Okay. That goes right into a question I was going to ask you because I was going to say, every season and previous of last season, we had the likes of Neo, we had Two Chainz, so we know the celebrity
Yeah.
cameos per se, or even just casting because as they stuck around more than just a cameo, it leads me to wonder, are there going to be any additional now celebrity surprises for this season, and anything you might be able to share about them and when we might see them?
Yeah, well, Sweetie's coming back, which we're really excited about. She's such a strong female character who doesn't take any shit.
Yeah.
Her nickname, season 3 was Slugger, Um, and some of those things were based off Randy's mom, who played on the Soul Sisters and was in the Softball Hall of Fame. So we took some of those elements for Sweetie's character. Um, and then we have a lot of great actors who aren't artists too, like JD Williams and Sky Jackson and Tyler
Yeah.
Lepley. So we really just expanded everything. It was Eye of the Tiger.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what y'all do every season. If there's one thing I know about you and you running the show, the next season is definitely going to be a step above from the previous. One thing I also have been on you about now for 4 seasons is, and if the folks at Stars could hear me out there, when are we going to get some of that merch? Because you always hooking up your casting crew with the jackets, the shirts. Now every time I see them, I'm like, when can I get my hands on some? Has there been a discussion for this season? And even if you can't do that, what are y'all rocking this season?
I don't know what the status is on fan merchandise. Our crew is so generous at Wrap. everybody has stuff made, like every department. So like the construction team, they have shirts. We got BMF stickers, we got BMF backpacks. The cast gave us BMF rain jackets. Um, I have so many hats. Like everybody, it's the most generous group, you know? And then our last night of filming, the makeup department did a BMF season 4 temporary tattoos. So they were putting them on everybody last night of filming, which was fun, and mine lasted for the wrap party. But yeah, it's just the most generous group of people, and it's like everybody tries to outdo each other with gifts, you
Yeah.
know? So I know it's in high demand. Yeah, and we'll find out if it's going to be available to the fans.
Okay. One other thing I asked you for my final question is, and I've checked out half the season. I don't want to spoil it all for me. I want to get enough to just prep for interviews. Is the one thing I know about the Stars culture is there's always an opportunity for a universe with a show. Has there been discussion or has the gears been turning in your head about ways you may want to evolve this show into other spaces or other, spin-offs or such? Have you thought about this yet?
Well, 50 made an announcement, I think it was like 3 years ago. I think it was at our season 2 premiere. And of course, I would love to be part of a BMFCU cinematic universe, right? If the opportunity presents itself. I mean, there's so many great characters.
Yeah.
So we shall see. That's going to be up to Stars, and I'd love to answer the call if they throw up the bat signal.
Well, the fans were ready for sure. And it's always a pleasure talking to you. I really appreciate the time. And once again, BMF season 4 returns to Stars June 6th. Congratulations.
It's the eye of the tiger. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Ridiculous.